Good evening, Nigeria. Welcome to Update with Precious. Here we bring an update of matter them where they happen for inside the country. Welcome another Friday. We be so we give back to boss for matter them where they share for inside the country. My name is Precious Amy, and it always sweet my belly to bring on an update of matter them where they share for inside our country. Oh yeah, make a sharply go bring on a matter them where they hot quick, and then I introduce my guest them for today, and then we'll begin yan them one by follow. Plenty things then news up, but more just a take and small. You remember say yesterday, Canadian court been takes time call APC and PDP say them be terrorist organization. If you remember that story, especially when the story get to do with how did they use deny a particular politician asylum. Well, APC don't deny it. Say we are not terrorist organization. We do not promote electoral violence. Canada judge Middleton say Imedo for inside their matter. That matter self dey grand. I will go talk about when the time reach. And it is very heartbreaking, to call see our whole ruling party, say them the terrorist organization. They know they fear. They know they fear. All right, we could go to other matter than we be say they grant. Canadian courts never declared APC terrorist organization. That's what themselves they don't talk. But PDP self don't contact. Okay, we they review the Canadian court judgment accusing us of terrorism. PDP now don't answer like that. But there is another very heartbreaking story. We be say I see this story since Monday. But for some reasons, I really never get time to talk about them, and I feel like today is good to talk about it. So, White House responds to surge in Christian persecution crisis in sub-Saharan Africa and of course Nigeria as a case study. We go look at that matter because there plenty things we didn't talk about with this matter and this report by White House. First of all, they talk say Nigeria don't become one of the most dangerous places where we say Christians them feel live for the world, and that they very troublesome for the U.S. government to talk of Nigeria like this. That one self dey grand as matter we be say we go put mouth inside, and then sharply make we also look at other matter them. Aregbesola blocked from Ogun by-election campaign. ADC don't talk like that. And we'll go play you video of Aregbesola for inside Ogun State. Waiting then do am versus waiting then do am for other places when go. Tambo, why don't talk? He say fight against corruption selective. As Northerners also react to the matter. In fact, that you know what Tambo talk? He say, I don't want my sins to be forgiven, so I won't join APC. So you know what? Northerners, make una come ready, make we vote out this government. And people are like, wait. What did they do you no serve as example? Do you reach as EG, for example, for you to talk, say, you see they talk this way they talk. Okay. PDP inaugurates 44 members zoning committee, demands weak case total loyalty. That one said big grant. Tinubu going on another trip while Nigeria bleeds. Peter Obi behind the lament. LP crisis. Senator Nadi Usman accuses Abure of forum shopping. That one said the Dangote Cement pledges full support for Fina's sister after truck accident. I thought to carry this story. And then Nigeria's inflation rate drops to 21.8%. We get a report concerning this matter, so we go talk about them. Tinubu government assures Igbos of developmental projects in Southeast. Say, Igbo, not worry, we'll give on a development. We'll give on a deve. Opposition coalition alleges plot to rig Kaduna Edo by elections. That one day grant. Kaduna LG polls vote SDP. Vote SDP candidates. Erofai don't they talk about that one? As it be say SDP self they get one kind of wahala and coalition of course get their own. Police don't deploy 7,825 personnel for Edo State by elections. Say Governor Monday Okpebolo and the rest of them, they supposed put them back, people because they're senatorial state, they're supposed to vote back. Well, by election, Peter Obi now Uber politician, Naso Aburi talk. Bauchi governor appoints Chinese as economic advisor. All this mattered them plenty and more. Now Ibisi will put mouth inside. Joining me inside the studio, Mr. Ekenobi. Mr. Ekenobi, thank you so much for joining us this evening for Inside the Studio. Welcome. Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to the studio. All right. Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
thank God
So,
it's Friday.
so
Yeah, we're here again to talk about
thank you.
the things
Thank
happening in
you.
our
So I
country.
don't know if you
Mm.
saw that report by that where the Canadian court or a court in Canada accused your ruling party APC and PDP of being a terrorist organization. Now this happened while they were trying to deny visa asylum to a politician. Because they say the politician a member of APC and also PDP before. In fact, quoting part of it in the talk, said the conduct of individuals who are members of the PDP, including high-ranking officials and those who committed political violence and intimidation on their behalf, is too widespread and persistent over too great period of time to disassociate the leadership of the party from their actions. So if you be their member, then you go don't follow for waiting the BC they do, especially if you be their leader. And the contact say one of the reasons why they named them terrorist organization are because they encourage election rigging, killing and maiming of people, ballot snatching during election. And part of the reason we make them call them terrorist organization. Um, let me see. In fact, part of excerpt reads that the court affirmed that okay, the party leadership enjoying the benefits of such violence. Okay, yeah, talk about the violence. Now they say for them to enjoy the benefits of such violence, took no action to stop it. That's what the judge talk. And then she further says, meaning accomplishing change by illicit means for proper purpose related to an organization, even without the use of force. Now, the court also reaffirmed Canada's broad interpretation of membership in a prescribed organization under paragraph of their constitution, where they talk say accomplishing change by illicit means for improper purpose related to an organization, even without the use of force. Now, then further talk say they affirm Canada's broad interpretation in prescribed organization under their laws. That's what they talk. They say an admission of membership in an organization is sufficient regardless of the nature, frequency, duration, or degree of involvement that you have. So if you don't join this kind of place, so if you say they don't do this kind of thing, then let me say we don't agree. In fact, they thought say, and it's yeah. So the man himself, although protest, he argued say it is unfair to call the PDP and APC actions of subversion as a terrorist organization. Say it is unfair. But Canada hold their stand, and on that basis, now they deny an asylum. But PDP now don't come react. APC first of all start by reacting to the matter. First of all, then talk. Say, let people stop am. Say Canada courts no know what they talk about. Why then go call them a terrorist organization? In fact, they quoted, they said they didn't reckon with the constitutional provisions of political parties in Nigeria. The APC is not registered in Canada, and it is not registered as a terrorist organization, but registered as a political party in Nigeria. Now, so then talk. The APC has won elections, including presidential elections. It is unfortunate to describe a political party poised for peace as otherwise. It is meddlesome for a court in another country to interpret the activities of political parties in another country as terrorism. So that's not the basis where we say APC they use deny say they know be terrorist organization. But Canada no even now Canada no they answer anybody, mama. They no say I let you put mouth into this thing. Is it fair that the whole ruling party of Nigeria they seen as a terrorist organization? And if this their judgment continue, waiting in main for Nigeria, say a lot of people won't like him as to remember say they deny our whole CDS, Chief of Army Staff, Defense Staff visa. Could this be part of the reason where they carry for mind we make them deny a visa? Make I let you talk.
Okay, so let me start by saying that Canada did not before now made mention of such a thing. Even if they had it in mind, there was no need to have brought it to the public domain as news. The reason is simple. Let's start with the guy that is seeking for asylum or seek for asylum in Canada. The information he put in the form as being a member of these two parties, exactly, for a long period of time. This is what has given the impetus for them to have said what is either in their mind or what corresponds in their book as what constitutes terrorism. Because terrorism is not even in the name, it's in the act. And if we look at it from the time we started democracy in 1999, we adopted a culture that is alien to democracy, especially where we copied it from. Okay, the idea of political killings started in 1999, immediately after we established democracy in 1999. It started happening, and all the people that died, from Harry Marshall to Funshaw Williams to many other people that died, including Bola Ige, till today.
No,
Nobody
nothing.
has,
Nothing.
justice has not
But
been
why?
served. Do you
And
understand? So those kind of killings,
I was going to ask. I was
you
going to
can't
ask
say
that.
you're
Do you
running a
think that the international community is watching all of this and they carry all these things for mind? They wait.
everything is global.
Wow.
Everything is global. News today, before certain news, when they happen even in your village, before you get hold of the news, somebody in America has read it. That's how global connect is. Nothing is hidden anymore. So they have been looking at our trajectory since we started this democracy. And then it became like a pattern where every election cycle, right? What happened the last time can only increase the next time. Increase in such a level that you can't even have mouth to speak. So issues keep piling. Boxing snatches and killings and intimidations and threats and actual killings, and police won't do nothing. People die. Look at you just mentioned a
Yes,
by-election
yes,
that
and they
is
don't
coming
deploy
up
almost 8,000.
in
For
Edo
Edo
State.
State alone,
Look at the
8,000
amount
for
of police
just.
personnel.
Oh,
Exactly.
goodness me.
In one state, and not the entire state,
Just yes, yes, just
just
a
a few local
constituent,
governments.
senatorial
Do
district.
you understand? So it underscores the fact that every time we want to do election, even if it's one local government, right? This even this amount of police that they are trying to deploy now, it won't still stop anything. The things that will happen will still happen, and nothing will. There will be no justice. There will be nobody will be called to book. Nobody will be reprimanded. Nobody will go to jail. Nobody will be questioned. So that's where the problem is. So the guy that went to Canada and is seeking for asylum is the one that exposed himself, because that
For
information
no
he
put
put there gave him the opportunity to say exactly. And then if
no,
they
but
look at the record,
you know that naturally for Africa or for Nigeria, if you want the important, you go just say, "Oh, I'll be PDP member, I'll be APC member," and people go look you as important person.
that's it.
You know, say politician, na high ranking profession for Africa. So,
You don't,
so,
you don't go put
you
yourself
mean
now
say,
for wahala. If only you know. By now you gonna tell yourself, say, oh, who sent me a message? Who sent me? Because I mean, come on. Everybody have their own reservations about the things we do, because we don't do things the normal way people do it. And we think it's normal. And that's how we be, our anyhowness. We think, oh, because we're a sovereign nation, therefore anything we do does not have some sort of negative implications out there. It does. It does. That's why Nigerians suffer. We go through a whole lot when we leave the shores of this country. The way people see us. The same thing happened. I was in Bangkok. Yes, I was in Bangkok a few years ago. And then we were going to Shanghai from there. Because after I left Bangkok, I said, okay, let me get to Shanghai. The flight that I took, there were some Ghanaians there, some Togolese there, and Ivory Coast. They treated Ivory Coast passport first, treated the Ghanaian passport first. Then Togo, they asked Nigerians to stay, a few Nigerians, were about 5, that we should stay on one side. They just, put us on one side like we don't matter. That is how they see Nigerians. Everybody know Nigerians and who they are. Do you understand? They study us, even Cotonou here. The day in 2001, as far back as 2001, we went to Cotonou. And then when police stopped us, they just pushed us to one corner like, you guys, Nigerians, we know how you people behave. So stay in one corner. We're going to, the level of search and the way they treated us already. Although they didn't find anything, because, we are that clean. But what was coming out of their mouth will show you that these guys have serious study on Nigerians and how we behave. Now, move down to what today's Nigerians. You can only imagine. Like I told you, since 1999 that we started this democracy, it has never been any better. It has never been. Every time there is election, people will die, people will jitter, people will feel very bad. At the end of the day, nothing will happen. Nobody will be brought to book. And you think the outside world are not seeing it. So in their book, what constitutes terrorism? I think with those political parties and the way they act each time, they've met it and even beyond whatever they prescribe on their book. So that's where we are. It's unfortunate. Nobody is calling. They didn't say, oh, APC as an organization is a terrorist organization or PDP, but the people that are in that political party, from their leadership to the last person, everybody seemed to be quiet. So it's almost like an endorsement of bad behavior. People that have died.
Is that why they mentioned their
being
leadership and said that
nobody.
if the kind of things that happen and killings
Exactly.
happen during election, after election, and the leadership no react, and so say those things nothing happen without the knowledge of the leadership. So
exactly,
wow.
like they endorse it. It's not even tacit endorsement. This is they endorse it with their full chest, like it's a behavior, and this is the way they are known. So if anybody addresses you based on the way you think you're known,
So
does it
mean that snatch
Don't
it,
be
grab
offended.
it, and run away with it is supposed to be part of terrorism act?
Have you ever seen that kind of? Have you ever seen the way we do election? Have you ever seen it even in any African country? It doesn't happen elsewhere. I've never seen it this bad. Okay, the highest that can happen is okay. They said they rig election, but people don't die the way they die in Nigeria, and it has become a way of life here. That's why the level of apathy, is increasing, because people are not interested in voting, more so even when their votes don't count. So people will tell you, look, how will I risk my life to go and die? Look at what is happening. Every time they will tell you, oh, come and sign peace accord and all of that, the police will protect the people, but the police will be there. Area boys will come, shoot and kill people. Nothing
The
will
police
happen.
will tell you that they are not permitted
So
to hold guns, to
really,
carry guns to ballots, to monitor elections.
that is a way of disarming the people, to let them look, they are not permitted to, but I mean, that's the law. So you, the police person that's is mandated to protect the lives of people, what are you doing? Just because, oh, the ruling party, whatever instruction that the IG gives is what they're going to follow. So it's just a whole mess. I'm sorry, and I pity the guy that
And imagine
put
if he
down that
don't hear
information.
most of his property now to jackpot with his family, and as they deny him, so they go deny him
Definitely now,
family members.
and he don't stay, say since 2017, he don't stay
Child,
Canada. So Canada go not enter him
child.
body. Now when they say, not blood pressure go
Hell.
just
So,
high.
but what is
Anyhow,
this? What does this mean
depression go
to the
enter.
image of Nigeria? On the other part, by the way, the PDP they talk say that they monitor the say they go through.
No, there's nothing to monitor. That's a tactic. There's nothing to monitor. Wait till they
Say
won't monitor.
they
Wait till
study the
beg.
reports.
There's nothing to study. This is not a case against them per se. APC don't sharply tell you what in they feel. It's not even about meddlesome, whatever. The tactic that they are using, they need to stop it. This is like, this thing should let them know that the outside world is watching them, that there is need for them to, rejig the way they do things. This whole idea of thuggery, killing people, it should stop. It just has to stop. It's not because Canada is saying it. Even we, where they here, everybody talks, say this is not the way to go. This is not the way to go. Every time there is election, people go to panic. You come out, you lie to people. Look at what INEC did. Lying to people for the first time in 2023, people came back, participated, and then you dashed all their hopes. No. It's not nice. It's good as they call them.
So what did they go call INEC now?
Because they call them. Because these are people where part of the people where they cause problem. Because when INEC we're supposed do what they're supposed to do, and people get upset, yeah, that can, start off violence. You understand? Violence will erupt. If INEC announce who they're not supposed to announce, these are part of the things that can cause problem. Not even when they came to lie to Nigerians to tell them, say, look, if you vote, everything will be transmitted from Beavers and all of that, IREF and everything. They gave them that hope. At the end of the day, what happened? So these are part of the problems that they face. And if they look at their act, like I said, it is their act that brought about this terrorism accusation. It's not that PDP or APC as a political party, the name, depicts what but the act, they don't surpass waiting these people put down as, if you do this, do this, do this. it constitutes XYZ. They don't surpass them. So you know, makes sense. And people wait in the queue. Now people will not do them anything. And what is terrorism? Terrorism is somebody will carry something, carry a weapon or whatever, kill somebody will not do them anything. You terrorize everybody. You put fear for people, buddy. That'd be terrorism now.
All right. So again, I wanted to ask you what this means to the image of Nigeria. But before I ask you that question, maybe we'll go to the other story where also they are more like twice as sad than as this, right? So earlier this week, let me look at the date precisely. That was August 10th. August 10th was when? I think that was on Sunday. Yeah, August 10th was on Sunday. Now, Fox News, now carry this story. Say White House, they respond to surge in Christian persecution. That's what they called it. Christian persecution crisis across sub-Saharan Africa. It's going to be a long read, but it's important for us to note things down. They mentioned the 27 houses that were people that were burned alive in Jos. The one that till today are presidents, the presidency is yet to mention. They never do. I don't know what I don't hear them do about that. The last, major killing, mass killing for inside Jos. They've not said anything. That's what they refer to in this report. And according to them, they say the White House, they faced with an ongoing and growing tsunami of murderous attacks by Islamic State allied groups against Christians in sub-Saharan Africa. And they are now working closely with the State Department to find ways to stop the killing. Now, make I go look at, of course, I mentioned the one that happened in DR Congo, but let me go to the one that's got to do with Nigeria, particularly because it's a long read about that of Nigeria. Now, they say for Nigeria last month, you know that thing happened last month, and the one that the reporter who was reporting the incident was crying. She couldn't hold her tears on air while she was, reporting the incident. Remember that incident, right? That's the one I'm talking about.
And you can only imagine it wasn't even a national news. Such a
It
thing
was
that we
a
didn't
national news, but they did not nationality enough. I said it was.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
National. I know what I'm talking about. Like talk about it
I'm
like it
telling
means
you.
something.
As a matter of fact, it was a News Central reporter that carried that news, and she couldn't hold her tears. She broke down on air while reporting the incident. Until today, in fact, that thing trended on Twitter because of the way which she used report the matter, and people, can't empathize with her and imagine the outcome for her mental health for that. Till today, our people never do anything about it. Never. Let me see. This is the report. Our governments never do anything about it. I'm trying to check if it's a report, but let me go back and then read that. So they mentioned that report. They said that where do I start from now? Yes, that 27 Christians were reportedly killed by Islamist Fulani tribesmen. This is Fox News. Oh, that 27 Christians were reported killed by Islamist Fulani tribesmen in the village of Bindi Tahus, where residents are predominantly Christians. Eyewitness Solomon Sunday said, I advised my family to seek refuge in the church, which seemed to be the safest place at the time. I lost my wife and second daughter on the attack. They were burned alive by Fulani militias inside the church in Nigeria. Now, local youths, the report reads further, youth leader Mangut, who helped retrieve the bodies, added that people are being killed like chickens and nothing is being done, the report further said. In fact, they said such grisly proceedings have become commonplace in central Nigeria. That is not central Nigeria. They now said the killing of Christians and Christians' rights organizations, they also told Fox News that it is part of a long-standing process, according to Fox News, that it's part of a long-standing process of violent Islamization of ethno-religious cleansing. Quoted again, they said last Palm Sunday, 50 Christians were similarly slaughtered in nearby Bassa. Remember that Palm Sunday procession with them booze. Remember. Now, over 165 Christians have been killed in the last 4 months in Plateau State alone, one of the Nigeria's provinces. That's what they talk. Now, massacre of that sort that happened in central Nigeria are also happening with increasing frequency in predominantly Christian areas. in other parts of West Africa. Now, the UK division of Open Doors Global Christian Charity, which supports and speaks up for Christians persecuted for their faith, told Fox News Digital that the crisis facing large areas of sub-Saharan Africa is hard to overstate. It is potentially existential for the future peace and stability of several nations in that region, not just Nigeria. Okay. Now they said around 150,000 people have been killed in jihadist violence in Nigeria within the last 10 years. I don't know whether you understand that. Over 16 million Christians
Mm-hmm.
have been driven out of their homes and their land across the region. Now, the Trump administration appears to be preparing for action. They said this week, a State Department spokesperson told Fox News Digital that the Department of State is working closely with the White House to identify opportunities to further the cause of religious freedom around the world. And of course, a case study of Nigeria and other sub-Saharan African countries. Now, the spokesperson added that religious freedom for all people worldwide is a moral and national security imperative and a U.S. foreign policy priority. As Trump has stated, the United States will vigorously promote this freedom. Now, Nigeria is among the most dangerous places in the world to be a Christian. The report quotes, recent Open Doors research shows that more Christians are killed for their faith in Nigeria than the rest of the world combined together. I don't know whether you understand me. That is, people where they die because of say them be Christians. If they get 100, we die because of say them be Christians for the world. A larger percentage of them be for Nigeria. That is
Nigeria.
what this report is saying.
Mm.
A local bishop, Wilfred Anagwe, was threatened and some 20 of his parishioners killed after he spoke out against the killings to a congressional committee in March. They killed him. This week, the bishop spoke exclusively to Fox Digital, declaring that the attackers form part of the larger Islamic jihadist family headed in Nigeria by the likes of Boko Haram, ISIS of West Africa, and you know their name. Nigeria has a long history with Islamic fundamentalism. That's what the report talk. But the violence, killing, and displacement without consequences, you hear the word? Without consequences, suggest a new pattern where the Islamists have resorted to use their control of official government and apparatus to continue the jihad. I don't know whether you understand what this thing means.
That's the main
Hey,
point.
you understand them? That
That's the main point.
without consequences, where these people because they use their control of
I said that's
government.
the main point.
Now, there is a strong tendency by fundamentalist Muslims in Nigeria to turn the whole part of the north central Nigeria as Islamic State, if not the whole of Nigeria. This report reads Fox News, not be me, Google foxnews.com. You will see the report. Now, this is what the Nazis did to the Jews, the report said, according the report said. And they said it's ethnic cleansing step by step, the report further says. They further said that Islamist groups are operating in those areas. If Christians gather for a prayer meeting, let's say, or go to church, it would be one-way tickets or something very deadly that may happen. If you're a Christian, you either convert or to Islam or you die. In fact, a particular person narrates his ordeal, a Christian who was ambushed by Boko Haram fighters. According to his widow, he was asked to deny his faith and say an Islamic prayer. He refused and he was instantly killed. You are a target. You are a target by the mere fact that you identify as a Christian, the report says. The report, it took plenty. I don't know the one I go read, I don't know the one I go leave. Oh, but make a stop, I'm here. Well, let me stop you here for the for the want of time. Now, let me see if I can. This is that report. That report that our president and presidency is yet to report. That's a report.
These are the scenes that welcomed one into the affected village of Jebu Iriom local government area of Plateau State early Tuesday morning. The village was thrown into shock and mourning when they were attacked with guns and machetes and their houses set ablaze.
Around 3 a.m., this community was attacked by the attackers. And of course, we thought the place was going to be protected, as the security men from the Sector 6 came with 2 gun trucks. And I was satisfied that my people are well protected.
Sincerely, it is very sad and unfortunate that up to today, these things have not come to an end. You have just witnessed, you've gone around together here, you've seen the dead bodies yourself. 27 people lying down.
While security personnel from different agencies were seen on the ground, the locals blamed them for late response, alleging complicity.
In fact, there was an early warning information, but we called. We didn't get response. If to say the security responded at the time we called them, this wouldn't have happened.
This is part of the collusion and the complicity of the security agents that have been sent to respond to a distress call, but they couldn't, and it led to this. The present STF commander, the sector commander, that is here in Riom, sincerely, we're not comfortable with this man. We must commend the STF operatives that were stationed at SOAP, because if not that they have stood their ground, the actually fatality would have been higher than this.
The dead were said to have been taken away for burial, while their loved ones left to mourn them make their demands known.
In other climes, you have the federal police, you have the state police, and you have county police. Even universities in other climes have their own police system. And until we begin to do this and forget about whatever resources we will spend and protect lives and properties of citizens, we'll be doing nothing.
I am calling on the governor as the chief security of this state. He should do something to Riom local government. He should do something to these people. People are becoming homeless. People are becoming fatherless. People are becoming motherless.
If these killings continue like this and government did not take any action on it, we will definitely tell the youth what to do. And they should not blame us at the end of the day of what we are telling our members to do. Why? Because we will not continue to die in the hands of people helplessly.
Now, with what has happened here today, not only the aged, the youth, babies, toddlers were all affected. They were killed. What they're asking for, I'm sorry doing this, but what they're asking for is that justice be done, that government, security agencies, and every other person or agency responsible to maintain peace and security of both lives and property should sit up and do the needful for the safety of both human lives and their property. In Riom local government area for New Central, Chizoba and Niue.
All right, so let me take your input. So you see this report, this particular report, you saw how the lady broke down. You know, she lose her steez, lose her professionalism because she just couldn't handle it. This kind of thing, the president of our country, I never hear, of their response or reaction to this incident. Not by Onanuga. I don't know if they have, but I didn't see them react officially. I like to take, and this now part of the report that Fox News report reference.
This is supposed to be this is supposed to elicit national response, and this is supposed to be a national emergency. And if I would be honest with you, I would tell you that Nigeria has been captured. When I mean Nigeria, I'm talking about the government. Okay, it started, tactically. They started building. This thing didn't start today. This whole capture that you see, where everything appeared to be politics, everything more like politics takes a central role in everything that happens in the country. And with that politics, you see that they tend to confuse people, right? And then, because when this person argues this way, this person argues that way, at the end of the day, they will leave it hanging, and then business continues. And a situation where people who are in politics, I'm trying to build a background. A situation where people are in politics, and politics to them is about vested interest. It's about their own personal gains. Okay? It's very dangerous. If politics goes beyond the intention to serve the people, and to protect the lives of people and property in case you get into government, then the purpose of politics, will be defeated. But unfortunately, what we have here is people who go into politics solely, more like using the Machiavellian style that tells you the end justifies the means. However you get there, it really doesn't matter. Obi talked about the process of getting into anywhere. So the process matters a lot. If you look at an average Nigerian politician, the process through which they get into office, if you evaluate it, you will see that there are a lot of dirt, a lot of unpleasant things, that has happened, and it happens, and then nobody is brought to justice, nobody is in jail, nobody is questioned, and then he gets in there, it continues. The reason I'm saying this is because I had a security a couple of years ago. He was from Jos. And he kept telling me, the things going on in that state. I think it was John Ojang or so, the governor, that clearly allowed the settlement of these Fulani guys in Jos.
Do you know? In fact, this report further even says This report further says that about, I think, whether they say 74 communities have been sacked. The original occupants have been sacked.
That's the idea.
People where they live here now,
good.
Now people away from another place.
Good. So that now, when they came in, they said, "Oh, allow your brothers to stay." That agreement that made John Ojang to allow these people in mass to come and settle in certain villages. They had a trade-off, according to what he said. They had a trade-off, probably to give him his political position or whatever it is, and then he was able to allow, but he never knew what was going to happen, right? These guys, if you look at their agenda, if you look at the Uthman Fodio, jihad agenda, all right, how they mentor them, right? You see that an average Fulani guy who does not understand, especially those who didn't go to school, even those that went to school, right? You will see that they all have the same agenda. The agenda of, the ragtag ones can be in the bush, carry AK-47, fight and kill, and the ones in government will protect them. That's the idea.
Are you serious?
So
is that why people are saying that when they arrest them, they don't stay more than 2 weeks and they release them?
That's what I'm telling you now, because they have captured, when I say government, they have strategically positioned their members in most strategic places in government where decisions are taken, serious decisions for the nation are taken. That's why it's almost like a taboo for you to arrest, let alone kill a Fulani man anywhere in Nigeria. Look at my own village. They've taken over the whole bushes around my place. They kill people in my village. As in, like, it has never happened since I was born, right? The whole bushes around all the bushes, they have taken over.
In your village, in Imo State?
In my village, I'm not, right now, my mom is been out of my village. My mom is in her place in Owerri. As in, like, they come in, rape, kidnap, kill. I have
in Imo State,
in my village, of people that they be. As in my village, I will send you videos. Right now, we even have a committee, like in my village, where the WhatsApp group where they put all of us. We are contributing money every day. You see them. We have raised some young boys to for security purposes to go. And by the way, one of the guys that came out that they kidnapped said that the kind of juju that they use, right? When they kidnapped him, they sent some security guys to come and comb the bush. When they saw them coming, them and himself, they turned him into a leaf.
How did he know he turned into a leaf?
They turned into a leaf. No, because he said that they turned them into a leaf, that they saw the security people coming. They even passed beside them. They couldn't see them.
Hey.
That is, they saw them, they passed beside them, passed through, they saw them, like, they passed through, they couldn't see them. They had turned into a leaf. Okay? And then they turned him into a leaf with the juju that they had and all of that. That's how dangerous these guys are. Sometimes you say they can turn into a cow. You can't even see them, but they will see you.
Are you serious?
So this is so dangerous that the people need to step up. And that brings me to talk about killing Christians, right? The reason someone like me, I've kind of dissociated myself from being a Christian. I'm not a humanist. And I say this with every sense of pride. Listen, Christianity, the way they adopted it, I'm upset. You see this idea of forgive your enemy, oh, anything you pray for them, whatever. That is what had made Christians very looking like people who don't understand who they are. Because psychologically, these other guys were raised to intimidate and actually kill. So when they put fear in your system, you begin to run. You begin to get scared. Do you understand me? I think Christians need to change the psychology, knowing that when you're dealing with an enemy, you don't come with open hands to say, I will pray for you, I'll forgive you. No. That's why I like Christians in Central African Republic. Central African Republic, their Christians are the ones that kill the Muslims when fight happens, because they are very brutal. They are still using the Old Testament Christian style to operate, not the New Testament. This whole New Testament make people, how can you be killing a set of people just because of what they believe in? What kind of nonsense is that? Do you understand? These are fellow human beings like you. What strategy are they using that, and to find a way to counter it? Why should anybody call himself a Christian and then you are scared of a Muslim? It doesn't make sense to me. It
So
doesn't
you mean
make
that the
sense. So
Christians should fight for themselves?
they should
and
change their
stop
pattern,
complaining?
man. They should change their pattern of this whole idea of forgiving people, or somebody, kills you literally, and then you will still find a way to pray for the person. What kind of nonsense is that? They should change it, because
Now that you mentioned Imo State, let me also play something for you. So I saw this video earlier today, and this happened in Anambra State. And you know why it is important to state this? Remember that the governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, came out to say that 99.99%, his words, 99.99% of the criminal activities happening in Ali Igbo is caused by Umu Igbo. You understand? Now, here is a young lady who narrated her ordeal in the hands of purported or alleged headsmen, and how they killed her brother because they told her brother to rape her. He refused. This happened in his soil, Anambra State. I don't know if Chukwuma Soludo will see this and respond to this, but this is it. Take a listen to it.
Emmanuel. I would eat when I got the course for me. I thought someone them I have fully until this lie. Yes, now I do when Emmanuel. Definitely. I work close for me. West I say lie Adam. I see me papa. Me papa say I had dinner. Or just no man. Come away and make us in you. We market this with Tizium. It is a mabuto Emmanuel. Then do good over there. It is a mabuto. So, Mezzagina, again. I will say more Mutila has some more music. I say more also. Bomb was also in me. A crack ebb. We are saying about a maybe. About also that is using Donadia. Using the flanny. Our balance also that was I has what I read. Yeah, more about also Africa. But there are some Uzo Amansi. Okay. But everyone of Maya, we could also meet whether the Tamansi.
Okay. Mr. Kenny.
Now,
for those who don't understand,
for
those who don't understand, let me quickly narrate. So the young girl, apparently she went to farm with her brother and her sister. Upon sighting these guys and their violent nature, the sister disappeared and they started looking for the sister. They didn't see this. The Fulani men started looking for the sister. They didn't see. So they captured her and the brother. And they told them to use their knees to walk to a particular distance that they carried them to. And they got to the particular distance. They told her to strip naked and told the brother to lay her. The brother said he would rather die than do that. And they killed him. That was, if you notice, a part of it was blood because that was the brother's body lying down there.
Yeah,
This is crazy. This is, he
the
heard
same
when the
thing.
person asked him more than twice, about twice, she said, Fulani, Indi Fulani. But then
I
this is
said,
Chukwuma Soludo saying 99 point.
no,
Okay,
Chukwuma
maybe
Soludo,
this one is
for
0.1% that is
no,
happening.
no, for
Because I
Chukwuma
saw another,
Soludo,
there's
that
another percentage I saw too, another video I have. People here know I've played it a couple of times about, some Fulani herdsmen and their kidnapping activities in the same Anambra state. I don't understand. Go ahead, sir.
no, that is the same thing we're saying. So if you want to hear the truth, regardless of the fact that Chukwuma Soludo is the purported to be the chief security of the state, but Chukwuma Soludo, in fact, if you ask me, I would tell you personally, I've lost some sort of respect for the man, because you see, during Obasanjo, when he was made the central bank governor, he really, really made sense. He was talking brilliantly, and everything was going good for him. But since he entered into mainstream politics, and perhaps see how the Nigerian politicians play politics very dirty, I think he has even soaked himself in a more dirty and murky water. Okay, and that's even that has literally just eroded every single respect that I have for him, because the things the guy says with his mouth, it's so belittling. Like it makes him look so, I wouldn't use the word ordinary. It makes him look like, okay, so let me hold it there. I know let me hold it there. But they don't sound intelligent anymore. Maybe just a way to make himself, position himself in such a way that he would either gain a second term or something like that. Because the things the guy says, the governor says, is appalling. How would you say that? Meanwhile, people that are given, as in like accounts of different things that are happening in their communities, like me. Apart from the girl you just played the video now, I'm talking about me. It has never happened in my entire life. I will be 50 in a couple of months. I've never seen or heard anything like that. Right now, people in one part of my village, they've all left the village.
They've left the village.
They've left their house.
Are you serious?
I will show
In
you the
Imo
video.
State.
People that they killed in their farms, as in my village in Imo State. Yes. And they come out every day.
So what is your governor doing? I thought they say your governor is working. What is he doing?
These are politicians who are using human lives to play. They don't care. So long as, that's why I started by saying that when politics becomes something that people look at as first personal gains, it becomes dangerous. They are no longer there to protect the people, but they are using the people to advance their own cause. And that's where the problem is. The type of politics that we play, little wonder you have seen now what Canada, has turned out to be. Because it's so crazy to maintain power or to get in there. The method is so crude, it's so crazy, it is becoming so. Now we talked about the same Fulani people, how they've gained ground, and again I talked about capturing, the government, because they have been able to place their own people everywhere. That whatever they do, they are like sacred cows. You don't touch them. You do not touch them. If the policeman that will arrest them, where are you from? Do you not know your job? Because commands and orders are given from divisional to everybody knows you can't touch them. That's why they are having a free ride everywhere. And like you said, I heard on the news a couple of days ago that some local governments, I think in Sokoto or so, are submitting, that is, some bandits have captured about a few communities and local governments, they are signing more like an agreement with them to be able
Don't
to
go far.
come
Don't
and,
go
you
far.
know,
Don't
and all
go
of
far.
that.
In Zamfara State, they came
I
out
need
to
to get that
contest.
correct. In Zamfara,
Yes,
yeah,
in
exactly.
Zamfara State, they came out to
So,
protest. You know what? To go and farm, the
yeah.
communities paid 28 million naira each. 28 million.
See what I'm
To
talking about?
harvest
So
their crops, they pay 28 million. After that, after harvesting their crops,
gradually,
these same people will come to their houses, carry them, kidnap people and go and see cut away with some of their farm produce. And they're like, so what's the essence of paying you people?
this good. So this is where we are in Nigeria today. Gradually, these guys are gaining ground, okay, conquering territories and all of that, and gaining it to themselves. And government is looking the other way, like it doesn't matter. This is how we start. Very soon, if care is not taken, because there are certain governments or countries that you have mix of normal people and terrorists in the government. Look at what happens in Yemen, okay? In Somalia, Al Shabaab is there. In Yemen, you have the Houthis. You have, those terrorist organizations. They are inside the government. That's why those governments are not making sense. If Nigeria allows this to happen or to continue to happen this way, in no time, a greater portion of Nigeria's land will be captured. And if that happens, I don't know where all of us will be. This is so terrifying. It's so scary. It's worrisome that these guys in government should please, for once, try and do what government is supposed to do to secure the lives of Nigerian people and their land, and not allow these ragtag, terrorists to continue to make incursions where they take a greater, percentage of the Nigeria's land and then become lord and master. If care is not taken, it might happen, because their strategy, they are not relenting. Every day they are making gains and gains and gains and gains, and Nigerian government is looking the other way, like they have an agreement to say, have a free run, do whatever you want. We will look the other way. And that's the reason why they are making progress. Every day you hear this, you hear that. People that die in Nigeria every day, sometimes they don't even mention the numbers. And we say we have a government. I don't know, but really, this is where we are. So if the US is feeling concerned, thank God for the most powerful country in the world being a Christian country. If they think that this thing is becoming too much, let them see what they can do to help. Otherwise, the Christians can't even help themselves. They can't. Especially in Africa, especially in West Africa. They cannot. Because other African countries, like in the North Africa, they seem to have, accepted some level of, civilization. There are ways they do things. Everybody look at, okay, if I do things this way, what will be the implication? But the West African sub-region part of Africa, they seem not to care about anything, especially Nigeria. It's crazy. I don't know. And we tout ourselves to be, the giant of Africa. Meanwhile, we do things the most crudest way anybody can't even imagine. It's so worrisome, and I don't know. But unfortunately, things have continued to be from bad to worse, and then it continues every day. I've never seen a situation. This thing got worse in 2015 when Buhari was elected. I don't know the kind of agreement that they had, that they allowed these people to, come in large numbers into Nigeria. And look at where we are. I don't know.
All right,
but
all right, sir.
the government, it's about time they did something about this.
All right, so let's get straight into political conversations. I don't know if you saw that video of Arik Beshola yesterday when he went to campaign for this by-election in, I think, Ogun State, and what they did to him. That's it. They were stoning his baby. Thank God he's a bulletproof. I said it talk. For those of us who don't get bulletproof, sorry for you.
Look at that.
Now, That's it. The ADC has, of course, reacted to it because they are saying that the Thursday attack, in fact, that as a matter of fact, that the Nigerian police force masterminded the attack, and they also blocked their national secretary Bishola from campaigning for the party's candidate ahead of the Saturday's by-election in Ogun State. Bishola was set to be in the state alongside some party leaders for the ADC's final campaign rally of the by-election in Ikenna, Shagamu, Remo North Federal Constituency of the state. Now, the state chairman of the ADC, Femi Sholuade, in a statement in Abeokuta said the party had formally notified the police of its campaign plans through an official letter, which they received and acknowledged. He, however, said it was shocking that the police displayed bias and political intimidation by violently disrupting its campaign because they said their campaign was disrupted, apart from this area where some touts and all that tried to throw stones at them. Remember that by-election is going on in different parts of the state. Maybe they allegedly told that in one other campaign, Direct Goshola. Direct Goshola, they lead the southwest people now as people wey they lead the southwest for people wey dey to canvass for members for the EDC. And this is one of the things that's happening. But meanwhile, in my dear state, River State, I didn't want to carry the story. But since people are forcing me to carry the story, APC don't start campaign for inside River State. And if you see the kind crowd wey APC carry, you know say they want to local government election. Wey by the way, people talk say they illegal because you cannot have a local government election under a military rule. How do you have a democratic election under a military rule? Initially, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu amended the RISEC, that's the River State Electoral Commission Act, to make room for the what did they call them? The sole administrator to appoint RISEC officers and conduct elections, which is not in our, so you know go feed the constitution before now for sole administrator to run. He amend the constitution to make them happen, and they don't approve them. And of course, most of so you see what's happening in River State is a Yendeba because most of Wike's henchmen that are PDP men are contesting for position in APC. I don't understand. It's like it's like well, I beg make I just let you put mouth for all this matter. Then we'll move to another day. I don't get stressed. I didn't want to talk about these things happening in politics. I'm tired. Let me talk about humanity because it's just painful talking about politics.
Now, what did I tell you now? When you see when politics has become, personal interests, business, and all anything, any which way where you take dwarf. Okay, I mean, nobody talks about
it's either we win or we win, no matter how we win.
Exactly, just be with the winning team. It doesn't matter how you take dwarf.
Oh, is that why somebody like Tamboa said that he does not want to join APC because he doesn't want his sin to be forgiven? You remember Tamboa? Tamboa was held was invited by the EFCC.
No,
go.
That one, I don't know, man. I don't know, but yeah. So that's the style. Aregbesola, is risking because I mean anybody where for me where one because of the way where APC be now, yeah, and the kind of strength the way they don't pull here and there. 2027 winning starts now. It starts now, and it's really gonna be very hot. I'm not gonna lie to you because you see this time what happened now. Say Aregbesola go Ogun State won't go campaign for just by election, and they are stoning him. That is the style that they are going to expand. Okay, this idea of when I say when I be ADC, make we see how when I go take. So the violence level will increase. Okay, many people, if care is not taken, will die, and they don't care. So the people in power can do anything, either to retain or to gain power, and they are not ashamed to carry out whatever, even the things you cannot imagine. So it's going to be very risky for anybody in that line. But that said, talk about your River State. Like I said, Wike is still, operating with both hands. Anyhow, where them do them. Now Wike is the favor. This amendment, what they do now, say, make the sole administrator, appoint whatever. So if him come out, or are they not looking at him leaving the office? I thought they said maybe all this reconciliation very soon now, Fubara will take over. So if him come out, would they re-amend the whole thing back to how it will take suits, constitutionally elected governor or government, as the case may be? So I don't know. I really don't know, but that is how we take Siam, in the land where they call Nigeria. Anything can happen, especially with this APC. Since APC came, when PDP was there, they even tried to be a bit, tactical about the things they do, because they didn't want to overdo things. Maybe people no go say, eh?
So
Since
you're saying that APC
came,
is doing theirs with impunity? They don't care.
Jesus Christ, they will even do the ones where if you believe. The one not thinking, when if you believe, say this kind of thing happen. APC, they do them brazenly. Go and die. Now be their own. Going to court self now small thing. That is, if you see and finish, I won't take them. If you want go die, die. If you no want die, now you sabi. So that is where we are now. It couldn't be any worse than this. Then again, they keep toppling it. So really, it's neither here nor there. But you see, political theatrics in Nigeria, political whatever it is, it keeps happening. Nothing is surprising anymore. So let's see how it goes. Well, the bigger one will be 2027. Now there we go. Make we see how things with the pan out they go.
Okay. All right. So before we get to 2027, or perhaps on our way to 2027, just a few stories. That's Tambuwa situation, because in the Vex, well, first of all, Northerners first react as prominent voices from Northern Nigeria have begun reacting to the arrest of former Sokoto State Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, describing it as a development that could have far-reaching political implications. Now, some northern leaders say the arrest raises concerns over political witch hunting, while others insist the law must take its course regardless of status or whose ox is God. So, if you recall, the EFCC had arrested him because they say how you take withdraw 189 billion cash. Wait, how you take withdraw? Now, Tambuwa, of course, the former Speaker of the House, but he himself don't also react to the matter. For inside Sokoto State, in vow say he no go ever join up Progressive Congress APC. Say if they no one forgive him since made them leave him. Now, Tambuwa will be member of the opposition coalition. Say na ADC in day now. He say he no dey interested for his sins being forgiven. He was addressing his supporters upon his return to Sokoto State. The governor said he cannot join the APC because he does not want his sins to be forgiven. I do not want my sins to be forgiven, so I cannot join APC. I cannot be intimidated. I cannot be blackmailed. No one can tarnish my image. In fact, he can't use that opportunity, can't tell people for inside the state, say, "Una know what you're going to do now. I'm not going to come out in our numbers. Make sure, say, una vote APC out there as much as on a fit. Give them vote them out." People can say, "You, where they just released Nana. You don't they make mouth already." Well, make I let you talk inside.
Okay, so he's a very lucky man. He's a very, very lucky man. You see, the things where his case now is akin to what happened to Comfort with regards to Haram Saga too. You see, Comfort was a very lucky girl because of Kwangwan. Now Kwangwan, if nobody say Kwangwan commit first before she can commit. What did they talk? You don't forget, say people where do NSAS, many of them still there for jail. People where protest
so
for
to say her own come after Kwangwan, come before Kwangwan, it would have been over for her.
You see that adjournment where they adjourned the case to October 6th?
Yes.
It don't go.
Or be 2027.
It don't go. Be that. just
Are you serious?
Wait till they talk. You don't know this people. No. And after the October 6th, if the adjournment now go be January or February next year. From there, Nigeria.
This is what they do to people with that voice.
What till they talk now? Then from there, you don't go to even hear from me again. As I speak to you, people will say then they're hungry. they protested. They charged them for terrorism. I mean, no, what do you call that now? Felony, treasonable felony, right? Good.
Mm-hmm.
They are still in jail. See, they don't care. These people don't care. Now, one nine safe comfort. That's number one.
By the way, now that you mentioned this one on, make I just tell you, say, particular lawyer don't vex, carry federal government go courts. They charge them
Don't
for
worry, the
500.
lawyer, they
They
look
charge
for
them
money.
money. Say, how dare you treat one more special? We want
Hold
to know
on.
why.
No, you see, lawyers, you know, say, leave that one in there. Now, what do they call them? Tambowa. Yes, Tambowa is also very strategic. Like, Ingo don't look, say, many people we don't come up from PDP, especially in recent time, where a whole lot is hanging on their head and neck. All of them enter. They say they don't forgive them. The cases where they get with EFCC before they enter, they don't suspend on those cases. It was very nice for him. So remaining in ADC, go let them say, we'll talk about double standard. Now double standard, now then take the win case now. Okay, so as you do this person, why about now my hand, you won't get power. Okay, they talk about Ifan Yokoa, where he own now about 1.3 trillion. Akwa Ibom own 700 billion. You understand? You won't talk about my own, even if it's true, saying withdraw 180 something billion, right? He owns small now. Now that I want to kill him.
Is it just about his own small, or
No,
there may be more people that are affiliated to government doing worse? So why should his own be a problem?
That's why I don't say he owns small in comparison to these people I don't mention now. Now, what are you going to think for your own mind? Say, why are you hounding me? Okay? And then no say, as in talking like that, say, even though yes, we know it's clearly political witch hunt, as at the time it's happening and the way it is happening, because this guy don't come up from office since how many years? When I never bring him to book, it can't be now. So it's very clear. Even if he did it, maybe they should have found a different method or a different way or a different time to arrest him or to question him or to bring his name, to public domain. But now that it's now, where we say, in on the talk from another party when in day, when I come say, I told you one of the last time we spoke about this, ADC and all of the formation, I said, look, I think federal government will soon keep most of their principal, actors busy. Okay, with EFCC matter and all of that. It's happening already. That kind of thing. So now the idea of saying double standard, you can see how Tambowa he just came out and then he's talking tough to say, look, this is political witch hunt. And because many people are echoing that is giving him some level of strength to say, when I just the witch hunt me, when I know really mean them. Now because I be opposition party. Now I want, bring me down and all of that. It can't happen. Me, I know feel succumb, I know feel I know feel that, I know feel. Do you understand what I'm saying? So he knows. And that's why I say he's a very lucky man. If everything had been quiet, maybe there was no, it's not political period, nothing is happening, and then EFCC goes to
he would have been
either arrest him or invite him. What are we saying now? Waiting with the talk. Nobody will even hear him out. So he's a very lucky guy. Let him continue with that level of, sympathy when he gather from here and there. And let's see how that will pan out.
Okay, so there are two things very important I like us.
Go ahead.
It's okay. There are two things very important I want us to talk about. One, on a president, they're ready to go for a trip, and both the ADC and Peter Obi don't they complain about that trip. Say the trip, we just they do trip anyhow, and the thing, say that kind of thing. Why you go spend money? In fact, they don't even talk. Say don't they spend almost a quarter. If you calculate how many days they don't spend abroad, don't they spend about a quarter abroad within the 2 years where say don't spend inside office. That one day for one corner. Then we'll also talk about the matter of inflation, as then talk say inflation don't reduce well. Because so come out go ask Nigerians whether the thing reduce or where then they, and it won't shock you to hear what's in Nigerians then think. But sorry for making you laugh. So Peter Obi and ADC, all of them don't lambast President Bola. Say President Tinubu announced say he would travel I think he go travel.
So me don't go now. Don't go today now.
He don't finally go a bit. You know, so we
Don't go.
even
I
list
don't go.
out.
Don't go
He say he
today.
go go from Brazil to where.
You
You
don't
understand? Maybe
go.
stop for Dubai shortly, go to
Yes.
Brazil, then go to so place. I think Japan. Yeah. So those areas and all that. And they, of course they mentioned because the idea and I say they go attract investment. But Peter Obi dey against them, and the ADC too dey against them. And they talk say they waste money for what they do. Even though say the present administration they happy say Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala talk say the president policies they okay and say they in the step of the right direction. They use and yap Peter Obi. Now they don't they use this one again. They yab am again. Say why would you say the president should not travel and attract investment into the country? Should Nigerians complain about the president traveling in the current economy? Because Peter Obi's catch was the present economy. Say no be time we be so supposed to the waste. It's supposed to be time we supposed to be as prudent as possible with our resources what we get. Let me get your opinion.
Okay, so it's very simple. All right. I mean, I used to tell people one thing is very clear that I think when Oyibo will write Bible, especially the one where we believe in, the right Bible give us and they describe what they mean by heaven. They mention heaven and they describe what heaven looked like. Okay? Heaven, if you give a vivid description of heaven, they say it's a place that is orderly, clean, very, things are working there, light day, everything day, things just they move. So when Oyibo knowing that heaven is an ideation, right? They brought that kind of planet, heaven-like kind of. So when you travel to Obodo Oyibo, you feel good. I remember when I took my mom to England, and then she got in there. She was like, "Are we in heaven?" I say, "Yes, that heaven where then they preach to you. This is what it looks like." You understand? She thinks say she don't enter heaven. So what that means is that an average Nigerian person, a black man, especially Nigerian man or woman, travels abroad because he won't go experience peace. It's very common. Again, I remember when my family were in America, in England, that was the time I traveled 11 times in a year. Like every evening, if I come office like this, Friday, I don't come out. By Tuesday, I'm back. So one of the guys where I'd always say I'm for Virgin. I go ask the man, I say, I see you often. He say, yeah, they come out every 2 weeks. Man, go come out headache. Like when headache worry me. Man, just go. If I
You
just
see they travel like that for this. You see they travel like that right now.
No, who they? I don't know. Who burn them?
Because a flight ticket now go show you for body.
We were using less than 80,000, 100,000 to go and come. This is what they tell you, right? Good. Nigeria don't they okay in the past though. Those days, they use 50,000 go London and come back. But anyhow, now so the man tell me say in the go remove, if you feel stressed. Why I'm saying giving you this whole background is because when Mr. President said it's his turn, both the rich and the poor, the high and mighty. That's why you see that America or UK or anybody, any of these first world countries, if they deny our big men, wealthy men, politicians, or deny them visa, it will look like their world don't crash. Because it's their heaven. So for a president like Boko now fulfilled his lifelong dream, for instance, person will enter, you even go buy another jet for himself, where he go take the doing travel. He buy jet, he won't make it remain here for you. No, now to go to. The same Buhari was traveling anyhow he said, whether the country Anywhere he wants to go, he will go. The same thing, Baba. In the do if not like man talk, cry blood, consign them. Because all of us here, they give everybody hit. If you just give them small visa, when they come out, then go tell you, say, as I don't die here, if I die here, just bury me there. Because everybody wants out. So, talking seriously, the president is doing what he feels he wants to do, unfortunately to anybody. This outcry is been on and on, and he wants to travel. Anybody, he would have prepared to travel before they will let you know. Okay, so this whole itinerary that they've reeled out from Dubai to Japan, even Japan, the event that he's going to in Japan is going to be on the 20th. Okay, but he's already going 5 days ahead. Why should that happen? Right? And then this is still a president who up till now does not have ambassadors whom he can delegate, with all of this kind of, no, he doesn't even want anybody to go on his behalf. Even what ambassadors would do or ministers would do, he would like to do them himself. I remember Africa, look, we get problem. During COVID, they're having this meeting, yeah? So there was this meeting they had in London. They said a few African presidents, Nigeria, Zambia, and all of that, they Zoom meeting. But Zambian president flew to London, and they were like, no, you're not supposed to be here. He said, no. The internet wasn't working well. I needed to come in person. So he did it. That's the same thing. The same thing. So now that the president has left, like I said, up till now, there are no ambassadors of Nigeria anywhere in the world. And it has become a normal thing. When he's going to return back, that one is clearly omitted in the whole information, the itinerary information. Nobody knows to come back. So by the time he finishes in Tokyo, after 2 days of the, goes to Brazil. From Brazil, we don't know where else he will go to or when he's going to. So these things have got today. It's been happening. So it's not new to anybody. Okay, Obi still saying he's been crying, but that hasn't really stopped anything. And that's where the problem is. You're saying you're going to market Nigeria. You don't need to market the country. The whole world is so global that if any, the way what Nigeria is supposed to occupy in Africa, we're still a baby that can, project us in a very bright light. Who started? Is it electricity? Is it good roads? Is it policies that will even enable? Is it security? What are we talking about? Are largely nobody has taken anything like that. They are still there. And then you said you're traveling to go investors for them to come and invest in Nigeria. No. There is need for good policy are working seamlessly. To do business in Nigeria, in most people. Why? Because of the different crises and the things you in order to have business done. They need to remove those logs on the way for investors to see clear. Look at our exchange rate. Even though, yes, you might look like it's a bit stable, but you see, I look at what someone like Henry economist that died a couple of years ago. The things his central bank used to, in other words, central bank use money to keep the dollar against the naira stable. It's not supposed to be. The simplest way in economics to currency is to be a productive nation, produce and export, and earn more foreign currencies into your own economy. Local currency can stabilize. But if you are doing this method of deceiving people, using your money to buy and more like put subsidy in order to keep the naira against the dollar at a certain level, that is so artificial. Only stand for a while before thing will collapse. And that has been the method that most governments in people who have ruled Nigeria have been using. And when the person comes and carry a whole lot of problems. So I don't know, but his trip, like every other one he have done, he had done nothing. I really don't think so. But of course, those in a different way that, you don't need to market. You will see, the whole world will see. If an investor wants to know anything about Nigeria, just get their tablet or their phone and type XYZ. Do you have informations that are on the internet that investors can see? Electricity or whatever infrastructure that you don't have. It's so clear. It's so clear. So traveling to go and say you're going to sit down with investors, it doesn't really change anything. It doesn't. The ones who have traveled are we have not, how many? It's less than 200 foreign direct investment. Yeah. The time Donald Trump traveled to Qatar and Saudi Arabia, how many billions of dollars did they attract in one travel? To offer, you don't need to. People will come because they need you. They need what you're offering. They need it. You don't need to go and tell anybody, come and, we are ready. It doesn't really, if they come here, then it becomes. So okay. I think it's about time they stopped wasting our resources.
Okay, sir.
And then look inward and then see, actually develop the country to attract this whole investment thing.
Okay. All right, sir. So very quickly, let's speak to the inflation very quickly, because there are lots of videos I have to play concerning that inflation story. First of all, I'm sure you are aware that Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala visited President Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday. And of course, that made a lot of headlines because they use her hair because of what she said. But let's go straight to the inflation story and speak to it. There's still a lot concerning the elections, but I just like to let them slip for now. So the National Bureau of Statistics says that Nigeria's headline inflation rate has reduced or fell to 21.88% in July 2025, down from 22.22% in June. We all know about the rebasing and all that we didn't do. We basically then promote they change the parameters we didn't use calculate inflation. We make it like say inflation don't reduce. Now, this has been a major marketing and selling point to the APC. I know why I mentioned this, but let me quickly play that video that Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala said. Then I get back to some other reports and claims by APC about this inflation, or boost by APC about inflation. Let's quickly take that report.
On some reforms at the initial stage of his administration, and now he's told Nigerians that the economy is turning the corner. What's the WTO's perception of Nigeria's economy?
So we think that the president and his team, and we just exchanged with him, have worked hard to stabilize the economy. And you cannot really improve an economy unless it's stable. So he has to be given the credit for the stability of the economy. So the reforms have been in the right direction. What is needed next is growth. We now need to grow the economy, and we need to put in social safety nets so that people who are feeling the pinch of the reforms can also have some support to be able to weather the hardship. So that's the next step. How do we build social safety net to help Nigerians cushion the hardship they are feeling? And then how do we grow the economy so we can create more jobs and put more money in people's pockets? These are issues that we discussed with Mr.
All we are here.
Okay, so that is it. I don't know if you heard that report very quickly. That's what she had to say. Yes, and then
seized
of
here.
course, yes, of course, the APC has boasted about that and said that, I mean, that means the entire criticism of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's policies and all that is irrelevant because if a very renowned economist like Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala can hail his policies, that means they're on, on the right track in what they are doing. So now, with this story of inflation coming down, if before the story of the second inflation coming down, people for APC don't they also they talk say things don't come down. I know say you don't hear and plenty. Former Minister for Education talk and say there is abundance. What is that? His words? Abundance, prosperity in the land right now. That people's lives are better now than it was during Buhari's agenda. In fact, during PDP's administration, that is Jonathan's administration, there's a lot of abundance in the land. And then I think go again, a lot of people, quite a number of them have said that. Even Daniel Bala, a lot of them. Now, this particular interview, I'll play you short clip, just very short clip of this interview of one George Agbakohi in on Arise Television, where he was, of course, berating the ADC. Why did they come to do campaign? When campaign never starts? Why EB say they always talk against the government when the government they do well? Say government meets inflation at a certain rate and they don't reduce at a certain rate. And they come, I'm getting somewhere because we went out to the street and we took opinion of real Nigerians about the situation. And I'd like you to react to all of this once we get to that.
All we are hearing
yes, that's
from African Democratic Congress is just abusing the current administration. In the 2023 election, Peter Obi won the election. Those are treacherous statements. Public Secretary of ADC also come on air and make very outlandish statements. These are not statements that people who love this country should make. They are just hitting up the whole country. We still have at least a year and a half for proper campaign to start. But they've already started campaign. President Tinubu came on board. Inflation was about, 40.50. As we speak, inflation has come down, drastically.
It's quite interesting that you're breaking down some of the statistics, especially concerning NALFund and the beneficiaries in certain parts of the country, because I know in the southeast where you're from, there's been outcry with many feeling that the southeast is not benefited enough from NALFund. But I'd like to speak to the point that you made that the ADC have already started campaigning. It's interesting that you say this because when we walk the streets in various parts of this country, the only campaign posters we're seeing are for President Bola Tinubu. And they are from groups such as your own, Grassroots, Tinubu Grassroots Organization, the Grassroots for Tinubu, Lovers of Tinubu, all of these organizations. And as you correctly noted, it's not even 1.5 years to elections.
It's a data that is already in the news media. It's in the news. It's not a hidden, it's a public document. Google it, you'll find it that that was the case then. But like we speak...
Mr.
Yes.
Bakai, inflation rate in Nigeria
was
22.41% in May 2023.
Hello, Chief Bakai. We already examined.
No, I'm talking about 2020. I'm talking about 2022. I mean currently it's 22.22%, which is reasonable.
No, wait, you said when President Tinubu came in, inflation was 40%. Inflation was 20.
Prior to President Tinubu coming in.
No, you said when President Tinubu came in, inflation was 40%. Inflation was 22.41%.
Okay, maybe
then it went up to over 30%. Then inflation did not really come down. No. What they did was that they changed the way, the parameters, the base at which they calculated inflation, and there was a drop in the number because it changed the parameter. So those are the facts on ground.
All right, so let me quickly, I'm headed somewhere with this conversation.
Yeah.
You didn't hear? Oh, I'm sorry. It would have been from your audio. Oh my, so it's from your audio. It's from your end. I'm sorry. So we went out to the street to speak to...
Okay, maybe you can summarize what he said.
Okay, so I mean, he was saying that the federal government, that Tinubu met inflation at 40% and he's brought it down to 20.something%. So he's done so well. Even though Tinubu met inflation at 20-something%, took it to almost 40% and then rebased and it's looking like it's coming down. So basically that's what he said. But I'm getting to somewhere else again. Since we're still talking about inflation, we went out to the streets to ask real people how they feel if their lives have changed, especially market people. How if did they buy something before? How did they buy them before and how did they buy them now? Because we cannot, most of these stories about inflation would not make sense to a common Nigerian if you don't relate it to how your standard of living is, if it has changed. I don't know if I'm making sense. Let's quickly.
That is what inflation is. If it's not affecting them positively,
then it hasn't.
Everything you're talking about is in.
Okay, so let's
Mm-hmm.
quickly take this report. I wish I can get that report done now, because we went out to the street and we asked some Nigerians questions about how they feel about the inflation in Nigeria. First of all, market, and I had to cut off some part because I didn't have the mind to have to put all of that. People say that people now buy, that when you buy fish in the market and cut off the head, that part you cut off and the tail, people come to look for it to buy so they can eat. People just come now and look for bone. That's just what they can buy because they can't even buy meat anymore. In fact, the marketers are now blaming this on the purchasing power of the people, that workers are not earning well, because if workers earn well, they'll come and spend money with us. But these workers are not earning well, and that's why they're not coming to spend money with us. And I'm not trying to relate this with what the federal government is saying and always campaigning that, people are now living abundantly and life is much more better than before. Is it that they don't live in the same Nigeria that we live in? Let's take a quick listen to John and that report. So that
Hello, my name is John, and we don't enter market this afternoon. The place where we did now market for Olojojo, we dey inside Oyanoworo. We want to ask the people how market take they be for their side compared to last 4 years. How things take be now we take this so. But we enter market. Sharply here waiting people gas stock until market women and market men we they come back. Mommy, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, boss.
Mommy, I want to ask you about your market. How market they be?
Everything in Nigeria is worse. To buy fish, the fish I used to bought 2,000, now it's 3,000 naira yet today. So even I don't know what to say because everything now in the market is worse. I don't know. They should help Nigeria. They should help us. At least this pepper now, problem. Onions, problem. Go to curry, problem. Enter egusi, problem. Which one do they want us to do? Government to help us. They should help us because the price is too high. Even the workers, they are not able to increase their salary. They cannot buy this. They should help us. Let Nigeria help us. That is what we need from Nigeria now.
So if you compare the last 4 years, how 4 years take you?
4 years is better than this one. This one is getting worse. It's getting worse. 4 years ago, I can buy fish 2,000 or 1,500 or 1,000. Sell it 1,500. Now the one of 1,000 is now 3,000. So it's getting worse.
Ẹ káàsán ma.
Ẹ káàsán. Ọjà ìbáyìísìn kò dàbí ti tẹ́lẹ̀ torí nǹkan tí wọ́n jù. Ayé bí ọdún méjì mẹ́ta sẹ́yìn báyìí kátà àárọ̀ nísìn kọ́ ni à ń rà. So ọjà yẹn bó ṣe wá wọn kò jẹ́ kí sales ó wà. Tẹ́ bá rajà tẹ́ kó lọ́jà lé nígbà tí ọjà ò bá yá ẹ máa ń láti lọ wá owó tẹ́ máa fi kún ọjà. Kò dẹ̀ ṣe pé ọjà yẹn náà ẹ jèrè ẹ o. Kódà a kàn sọ pé kó bá dẹ̀ pa àjáde mọ́ ni bá ṣe ní wá ń tajà. Iṣẹ́ ò dàbí iṣẹ́ kọ́lọ́run ṣàánú wa ẹ pọ́n lè àwọn ìjọba lè bá wa wọ́n lè rí nǹkan tó máa ṣe sí fún àtẹ oúnjẹ á di ọ̀pọ̀ so kò yẹ pé bí wọ́n kán tó gbowó oṣù ọmọ ẹni tó gbowó oṣù kan ti ná ó ti jẹ gbèsè sílẹ̀ àwọn kan tá a rí pé a tún ń pàtẹ náà èèyàn náà tún lọ wá package unlike before kí n gba lóhùn kan tó tajà but now before you sell you have to put pé okay wọ́n náà ọjọ́ ẹ pé okay kí gbá má ṣòfò and kò yẹ pé pé profit ṣe understand so.
Ẹ ṣeun ma. Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon, bro.
How market for your side, ma?
Yeah, to the glory of God, we still bless God because the Bible said that we should thank God every day.
Okay, so ma, compared to last 4 years, how market be for this? How you take the cope?
Well, it's the grace of God that we are enjoying right now because the economically really affect the sales. This our economy affect our state dramatically. So, but upon it, we still have to thank God for the surviving.
Yes, so people still they patronize as last 4 years. Market where they buy before, it still be the same thing. How it take be? Tell us.
Sir, I've told you that the economic affect the sales and every production in Nigeria. But upon it, sir, people, we are still surviving with the grace and the mercy of God, because we are not spending Nigeria currency. It's the mercy of God that we are spending in Nigeria. Everybody, because let's thank God, sir. What I want to tell them that they should consider the mercy. Then second, maybe they should try to give price a control price. Every goods, a product, a control price. Because, and again, no, I can't say much, because it's what government is, the way government is doing to this product, what is it called, this company or this manufacturer. I can't expect a company that produces a market with 200 naira to sell it for 15 naira for me. Definitely is what goes out that they expect to come in. So God should just our government should just consider other people that the people that is living in average level.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Ẹ káàsán ẹ̀yin ọmọ Nàìjíríà, ọjà yẹn ò lọ bó ṣe yẹ kó lọ o. Tá bá pa ẹran kan a lè tà fọ́jọ́ méjì o, kò lọ bó ṣe yẹ kó lọ o. Ọjà dẹ̀ tún wọ́n, àwọn kọ́sọ́mà gọdẹ̀ rí gan-an, tá bá fún wọn ní price ọjà àwọn ò tún ní dúró, máa ló wọ́n ni o. Irọ́ ó ti yàtọ̀ gan-an, bí oyin táwọn ará tẹ̀lé bí owó à ń fowó tánstírì báyìí ni, owó tá a fi ń rẹ ọkàn tẹ́lẹ̀ báyìí la fi ń ra bí mẹ́ta báyìí, la fi ń ra mẹ́ta, owó tá a fi ra mẹ́ta la fi ń rẹ ọkàn báyìí. Wọn ò patronize wa mọ́ o, wọ́n patronize náà bọ̀ kò dàbí ti tẹ́lẹ̀ o. Ọjà yẹn ò tiẹ̀ lọ bó ṣe yẹ kó lọ rárá. Kò pé ìjọba kan wò wá sí lára, kán ṣàánú wa náà ni, kó wò wá sí láàánú, torí ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà ti sú wa. Àwa tá a jẹ́ nítorí gan-an tẹ́lẹ̀ báyìí tì ní, la fi ń ra bí mẹ́ta báyìí, la fi ń ra mẹ́ta, owó tá a fi ra mẹ́ta la fi ń rẹ ọkàn báyìí. Wọn ò patronize wa mọ́ o, wọ́n patronize náà bọ̀ kò dàbí ti tẹ́lẹ̀ o. Ọjà yẹn ò tiẹ̀ lọ bó ṣe yẹ kó lọ rárá. Kò pé ìjọba kan wò wá sí lára, kán ṣàánú wa náà ni, kó wò wá sí láàánú, torí ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà ti sú wa. Àwa tá a jẹ́ youth yìí gan-an à ń forí tì ní o, kán lọ ṣàánú wa báyìí o. Irú school àríwọ̀, owó ti pọ̀ jù. Ẹ sọ.
Ẹ káàsán. Tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ ọjà wa ò kì nísìn, ó wọ́n sí lójoojúmọ́ ni o. Ẹlòmíì gan tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n máa sọ pé brush 3 months, ẹlòmíì 1 month. Nísìn wọ́n ti ń lo 6 months nísìn, wọn ò fẹ́ fowó ra nǹkan kan mọ́. Òde bí ọṣẹ ìwẹ̀ gan, a máa polówó ọṣẹ ìwẹ̀ fún ọpẹ́ ọṣẹ ìwẹ̀. Ẹlòmíì máa lóun fẹ́ ṣanra lásán, kò dẹ̀ sí nǹkan kan nílùú, oníkálukú manage ni. Torí ẹ̀ kọ́lọ́run kó ṣàánú ọ̀kadẹ̀ bá wa bẹ àwọn ìjọba wa náà. At least tí epo bá wálẹ̀, gbogbo ọjà náà wálẹ̀, kọ́jọ kó ṣíjú àánú wò wá, àwọn ọmọ tàwọn náà ara láàánú, kọ́jọ kó ṣàánú fún wa. Tí ọjà bá wálẹ̀, àwọn èèyàn á lè rajà dáadáa, àwọn èèyàn ò rajà wọn manage owó ọwọ́ wọn ni o. A dẹ̀ lè blame wọn, èlí tù tó oníkálukú bá gbà ní sálárì, oníkálukú manage. Kọ́lọ́run kó ṣàánú wa ni o. Ọjà ò dàbí ti tẹ́lẹ̀ o. Nǹkan tá à ń rà ní bí ọdún mẹ́rin sẹ́yìn kan là ń rà nísìn. Gbogbo bí ọdún mẹ́rin sẹ́yìn àti ẹ̀sìn lọ́gẹ̀dẹ̀ ẹ máa rí bí oní 500, kódà oní 200 ẹ máa rí. Kò sí nǹkan tó jọ mọ́ lọ́dún yìí o. Ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti 1,000 ń gọ pérégé ni, 2,000 5,000 bá ṣe ń tà ní ẹ̀, torí nǹkan táwa náà ń rà ọjà ti wọ́n, so òun ló fà á. Àwọn èèyàn yìí patronize wa but kò dàbí ti tẹ́lẹ̀, because àwọn ẹlòmíì á wò ó pé irú tóun máa fi kó ìsídà 2 or 3,000 lórí ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀, tóun bá ra ráìsì, tóun ra akagúngún, tóun ra ẹja ọ̀lẹ́mi, òun á pápọ̀ mọ́ra wọn, ọmọ á jẹun. So nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nìyẹn, kọ́lọ́run kó ṣàánú wa.
The thing get us a bit now. Our market now is expensive too much now. One cow now is mature cow now is from 600 to 1 million plus now. This year thing get us a bit. I think get us a bit too much now. Our market too much. Baba? Some people not get money to buy something now. Some is come. Okay, please sell biscuit one for me. Some people not they buy meat now. Biscuit one they fine to use to cook.
The market we are selling now, if you can look at it and look at the way the economic of the country is now, things are very, very more expensive in the sense that like the ogbolo that we always buy in a cheaper price now is now costly to an extent that the money we are using to buy ogbolo now is just a little money that we have. Then if we are not talking about the melon on its own too, melon too is very, very costly, whereby a paint now I think it should be 8,000 naira, but nothing we will do. It's just the way the country is, so we are just managing for now, because last 4 years that just passed, ogbono that we always buy like 500 before is now something of buying 10,000, 6,000 naira. And even though you buy that 6,000 naira ogbono, it does not even reach anything. Then now look at the water leaf aspect. Water leaf before, a bag was always 3,000 naira last 4 years, but now if you want to get water leaf in a bag, like full bag, water leaf now in full bag is not less than 10,000 naira. So we are just managing for now, and if you buy all these things now and start selling them, at times you might make your gain, at times you might just lose the profit.
So, all right, we don't hear the opinions of market men and market women on top the same issue. As market take they go with them. Some people talk say they don't like this government at all. Oh. Some people express their mind, even for Yoruba language, as it take they hurt them, as it take they pain them. They talk say the market of 4 years even better pass now. Even people self, work class people self, no fit afford waiting they sell. Say hunger dey the land, and they won't make government help them in 1 or 2 ways. So now waiting then talk for ground with that. But you waiting you
All right,
think
so
say you fit
going
talk.
back to the
Precious
conversation,
and
Mr. Kenobi, how did we get to the point where marketers will now start seeing the preferred president, former President Buhari's regime to this regime? How did we get to the point where Ugufi talk say we are Buhari time better, oh, we like Buhari on pass, oh, because 4 years ago na Buhari tenor. How did we get to that point? And how is it that
It's
the
simple.
people leading us are oblivious of this, or they live in their own paradise? They don't know what's happening, because these are real human beings that you heard from. These market people say they're just even going out because they have to go out. They're not making profits. Go ahead, please.
That's how bad things are. That's how bad things are, right? I mean, like I told you, when we started this program, that if you introduce politics in anything you're doing, it becomes a gamble, right? And you can see that the people at the helm of affairs are ready to play politics with everything, including human lives, including human sufferings, including, what they clearly put the people into, but they like to absolve themselves from the blame and want to, heap it on something else that doesn't really make sense. I thank God that everybody is, we're all living on this planet Earth, and a part of planet Earth called Nigeria. So if people will go look you, say, look, if you want to build a story building or build duplex or whatever it is, build your building now. Ma stay in my thatch house, but at least ma see food chop. Like I said, government exists anywhere in the world for the people, right? I remember I was walking down a path on a road in Canada. This one where I just come back. I had to take, when I saw like some buildings, I saw the signboard. It was for retired people in Canada, like a retirement home. If I send you the house and the environment, there is nowhere in even Ikoyi, there's nowhere in Ikoyi
that fine,
looks anywhere,
that is that
anything
decent
near that environment where retirement people live.
To retire, go hungry you. To retire, go hungry you.
Exactly. So that's the thing. So who created that place? Now their government ain't create them. Are they not human beings? And if you check there now, you go see some Nigerian Canadians who also retire where they there. They don't discriminate whether you be black or white. So long as you carry the passport. If you retire, that is the kind of house they will give you. That's the kind of environment you go live. So waiting at the top, we say, look, it's really so crazy. And I wish the people of Nigeria will understand, again, their place in a democratic setting. Democracy is a style of government that the power belongs to the people. The only unfortunate thing is that the people of Nigeria are still heavily divided along the lines of what no make sense. The reason why they are suffering today. Because how person will let you they suffer inside abundance? Nature, government, God has given us everything. We have everything
Even
here.
Tinubu just come and tell us the other day, see, Nigerians don't get any reason to dey poor. Our president tell us he will not get any reason to
now. Even look at people where we say, that's why I talk about people. What kind of a people are we? Japan, they don't have arable land to cultivate, agricultural produce. But they were able to think out using science to think out how they can do that. Today, Japan, through science, produces food that they can eat and also export. Anything where you drop for Nigerian ground, if you drop stone feed us germinate. That's how blessed the country's land is. But waiting will they do? The land can give you food, but we cannot even cultivate food where we feed up. You understand what I'm saying? We are hungry. People are hungry in the country. You have everything. There's nothing where God not deposit for this our land. Yet the people where they rule us say no, people no go chop, and then they will come and reel out theory, tell you say everything they're all right. Meanwhile, these are common people who don't know anything about politics. Now you go interview and they're telling you from the bottom of their heart. When Obama took over in 2008 or so, the first thing he did, he used a style of economics called quantitative ease. Quantitative ease is to allow central bank to push in money into the bank so that banks could have enough money to lend to people. Not just lending to people now. The government use their hand to put money inside people's accounts so that they can what? They can buy things, because Oyibo use a two-pronged approach to face their economy and also face how to stabilize human suffering. What is the two-pronged approach? One is they say government, now then they print money. So if government prints money, you cannot chew money. You can only use money to buy your needs. Now they come establish what they call social security benefit to say, government where they print money, everybody will be citizen, will be of lower class. Give them money, pay them every month so that they can see money
to
buy what they need.
So that
you
the economy
by the time they buy what they need, the economy will they move by itself.
Because
you don't need you to come to their they don't
Fine.
need you to come to their country and spend money for them to sell. I said it here. Some people they here today, they open shop. You see somebody where they sell soft drinks and maybe puff puff or egg roll, all those meat pie. 20 people feel pass. The soft drink and meat pie, they hungry them. But they don't get money to buy. Then go waka pass. If some of them make mistake, enter your shop, then go see where you write, because you don't want to talk to everybody, say, I'm not going to sell credit. You go down write them, maybe put them for freezer.
No credit today, come tomorrow.
Come tomorrow. Right? If the person pull head for your shop, see no credit today, come tomorrow, you go just disappear. At the end of the day, everybody will lose. Person who won't buy from you, no seafood buy, in the hungry. You where they sell, no only you go say, today market no day. Market no day, no means say people no get money. I mean, people no one buy, but they no get money.
Money to buy.
Good. Government now hold this money, they no one give to the citizens. So why is government existing now? Now they will come to life, say people life they okay. When people say we are hungry, we can't even, and in the hierarchy of survival, right? Food, now they at the bottom of the food chain. When you reach to survive, person no see even die.
Yes.
You feel where your blood they go. Somebody when they can tell you say, yeah, just give me food, my chop. Even if I don't see clothes wear, man naked, I know mine. Because then be like that, if you know chop hunger catch you now, the next thing I die now. So this is how cruel our government, this present government is. Now, talking about why things got worse. Simple. Now, the removal of subsidy without thinking, devaluation of Naira without thinking, everything what they do. Now, they are hounding people now with taxes. By January now, people will be saying they get small business and all of that. You go see what's going to happen. All they know is to collect money from you. They don't care whether you're surviving in business, whether you get money or you do business, you don't do business. All levies, every government agency and government parastatal, they are all their eyes.
But people are saying that we want Nigeria to be good. Why should we not pay the taxes? That's what some people will say. You want Nigeria to be good. Other countries
are you helping businesses? You are not creating jobs. You are not helping businesses. There are no soft loans that are less than like 1 digit, interest rate. How are you helping businesses that you want to collect taxes? So that's the point. It's not about you not collecting taxes, but how are you helping businesses to survive? People they are not even doing business. But everywhere, people are levying them up and down. It doesn't make sense. No business can survive.
This women they pay tax because every day for market they pay money. These people then we see with market no day.
That's what I'm telling you now. And those kind of monies that they pay, it look like it's so small. Pay 200 every day, 200, 500, okay, 200.
So you join them together.
It's exactly. It's almost like when you put them together, it runs into millions and billions every day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So before phone lines are open, Nigerians. You can jump in on the conversation. Follow the link and then feel free to join the conversation, or you call the WhatsApp number 08170294077. 08170294077. Now, tomorrow is by-election in some states: Kaduna State, Edo State, Ogun State. Various states by-election, and the ADC, the other parties, the Labour Party get their own problem when they come out Aburi team for inside the ballots. And then Nenadi Usman, they accuse them of forum shopping, of going to different courts to find where he go use sue the matter. Say right now, I like they confused whether they go agree for Aburi people or they go Kukuma work with Nenadi people because they get to abide by the Supreme.
No, I think the people and then get for their system.
That is a matter for another day. Their matter too long, guys. I know they talk about them. But the core of the matter be say opposition parties that accuse APC say they don't already read by elections. Say they don't already read the by-elections. And meanwhile, the ADC they talk say this could be a test on what's going to happen for 2027. I don't know how ready you think say they for the election. However, I did the drama will happen for Rise Television again. Make a Kuma mention them about an APC supporter accusing the opposition parties of running campaign, especially the ADC, of doing campaign already. And then by the time he was challenged, and then using harsh words like you make the government uncomfortable, you run a parallel government. And by the time they confronted him with what the APC had said in 2015, I'd like you to see what he said. And then let me take a reaction to that while the phone calls keep coming in. This is
the point that you made, that the ADC have already started campaigning. It's interesting that you say this because when we walk the streets in various parts of this country, the only campaign posters we're seeing are for President Bola Tinubu. And they are from groups such as your own, Grassroots, Tinubu Grassroots Organization, the Grassroots for Tinubu, Lovers of Tinubu, all of these organizations. And as you correctly noted, it's not even 1.5 years to elections. Secondly, Southeast Renewed Hope Agenda, SERHA, have said that they have raised 200 million naira. You're accusing ADC of campaigning, but you guys are doing the exact same thing and at greater proportions, because I'm yet to see a campaign poster for ADC.
In APC, there is no official campaigning. In ADC, you see the publicity secretary, Mr. Bolaji Abdullahi, campaigning both on social media, on electronic media, on print media, campaigning almost on daily basis. There has been no official campaigning, from either the party or the presidency in APC. You are talking of the super PACs. These are all different organizations. They are people that are supporting the APC, and based on freedom of expression, they all have the right to support who they want to support. But I'm talking about the mouthpiece of ADC is always on campaigning. People like El-Rufai, people like Dino Melaya, people like Amechi, they are all campaigning, on a regular basis. What I see actually is that in opposition, I'm looking at an asymmetrical political warfare that is going on, between the ADC, and PDP, as well as Labour Party. I think what they are all trying to position themselves, to see who will become the major opposition, party in respect of the 2027 election. That is exactly what you are saying.
Okay, sir, but the APC also has spokespeople who are coming on various media platforms every day as well. And you're saying that these posters are by supporters and so forth. But why can't the APC call their supporters to order and say that election has not yet started because they're in violation of electoral laws of Nigeria? Why is there a spirit of tolerance towards that?
Well, I have just said it, that there is no official statement of campaign by APC.
What do you call a poster?
Unlike the other side.
What do you call a campaign poster? Is that not a form of campaign?
Well, but that's not from the APC itself. It's from the support groups. There are also support groups that are supporting the opposition. The thing is that this coalition you are talking about,
I wasn't here
the substance and the essence of the opposition parties, the ADC, is still the same. There is no difference. They are all the same. They don't have no agenda. What they do is a critique.
Mr. Agbakai.
Criticizing the current administration.
Mr. Agbakai.
Yes, sir.
What are you doing on TV? Is it not campaigning?
Yes.
What you are doing as we speak on TV, is it not campaigning for the APC?
No, what I'm doing is answering the question she posed to me. That's exactly what I'm doing.
No, but you were saying...
Okay. I'm just trying to put
it's fine. Well, you've said that they've done fun, they've done everything.
Yes.
You came here to campaign for the APC, but it's fine. I have many issues to ask you. Mr. Agbakai, as we speak today,
yes.
If anybody say they will form a parallel government, what should they do to the person?
Well, we are running a presidential system of government. Yeah. I don't think, that is proper to start, doing a parallel government that was suggested earlier. Yes. Okay. That was suggested by, what's the name of this popular economist from Delta?
Yeah.
He suggested it sometime 2 or 3 months ago.
No, he called it a shadow government.
It is very disingenuous.
Okay, he calls it a shadow. See,
it's similar.
Okay,
it's similar.
If anybody talks about a parallel government, I think they should be rebuked and condemned, right? We should rebuke and condemn anybody that...
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you know your party, APC, said they will form a parallel government if they didn't win the 2015 elections?
Well, it depends on who talked about it and the circumstances. As I speak to you now, I don't really understand the circumstances for that particular statement.
Yes. I'll tell you. In an interview with Shewa Kibaloye, my friend and my brother, on Channels TV, a professor of law, the vice presidential candidate of the APC then, Professor Oshibajo, was asked about the talk about APC, they will form a parallel government, and he defended it. So your vice presidential candidate, and these are facts, was on TV defending a parallel government. So when you are abusing El-Rufai today, that they say if they don't win in 2027, they will form a parallel government, Nigeria will go up in flame. Didn't your party set the tone for things like that, Mr. Agbakai? Because we both agree that anybody that talks about forming a parallel government should be fought, should be brought down. But your party was even the one that opened our eyes to talk about forming a parallel government if they don't win. So what should we do to your party? You will tell us that later. Second point, Mr. Agbakai.
The ADC have already started campaigning. It's interesting that you say this because when we walk the streets in various parts of this country, the only campaign posters we're seeing are for President Bola Tinubu.
Where did you get that data from?
It's a data that is already in the news media. It's in the news. It's not a hidden. It's a public document.
Parallel government.
Google it, you'll find it.
To be brought down. But your party was even the one that opened our eyes to talk about forming a parallel government if they don't win. So what should we do to your party? You will tell us that later. Second point, Mr. Agbakai. You also said that when President Tinubu got in, inflation was over 40%, right?
Yes.
Where did you get that?
Yes.
Where did you get that data from?
It's a data that is already in the news media. It's in the news. It's not a hidden. It's a public document. You know, Google it, you'll find it that that was the case then. But like we speak,
Mr.
Yes.
Bakari, inflation rate in Nigeria
was
22.41% in May 2023.
Hello, Chief Bakari. We already examined.
No, I'm talking about 2020. I'm talking about 2022. I mean, currently, it's 22.22%, which is reasonable.
No, wait. You said when President Tinubu came in, inflation was 40%. Inflation was 20%.
Prior to President Tinubu coming in.
No, you said when President Tinubu came in, inflation was 40%. Inflation was 22.41%.
Okay, maybe
then it went up to over 30%. Then inflation did not really come down. No. What they did was that they changed the way, the parameters, the basis at which they calculated inflation, and there was a drop in the number because it changed the parameter.
I read earlier on attributed to the chairman of your party saying they're going to form a parallel government.
Yes.
What do you make of it?
Well, that is a position.
Do you see it as inciting?
I don't think so. I don't think it's inciting. Why is that inciting?
The audio of the video is not coming out.
I don't think that would necessarily lead anyone to violence or lead anyone to do anything.
Forming a parallel government, that's not calling for anarchy.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
But it could be.
No, not necessarily. Look at cases. Look at cases. Let's look at political history. Look at cases where.
All right. So I needed to play that video of
where the government, for instance.
If you would like, react to it, Sarah, so that we'll just begin to take calls. Nigerians phone lines are open. Let's start.
Maybe you can summarize, because I mean the audio didn't come out at all.
Oh, you didn't hear? Hey, this is
At
not
all.
good. Though. Where I won't start from now.
The audio
That's such
didn't
a
come
hard
out at
job to
all.
do.
It was just
Okay,
mute.
so basically, that was an APC supporter who came on air to also talk about the good deeds President Tinubu has been doing while berating the ADC for campaigning. And then the presenters asked him, but is it not campaign you came here to do by announcing the good deeds the president has done? Is that not campaign? And then they also tell him that they see more posters. In fact, they haven't seen posters of any other political party like they have seen that of
Except
APC.
APC.
Is that not campaign? So why are you saying this? He said that those are from support groups and not from the APC leadership. And they asked him, why does the leadership not tell the support
Those are
groups that,
what?
no, don't do this.
Those
It's not
are
yet
like
time for from support groups.
group. Okay.
Support groups.
Okay.
So why the leadership no fit tell the support group, say no, we need to do campaign, more than no do this one yet. You know, fit talk. At some point, when something escape, some sound escape. I don't know what's in that sound be, but it be like say sound way escape from the rare end of a human. You understand? Because it be like say the question can't be hot. And then they now also asked him, further that what he came here to do, is he not campaign? He couldn't say. And then they asked him a very important question about if somebody, like Rufai said, if somebody comes to say that they will form a parallel government, what would you do? He said it's treacherous. It's like what Patutomi said, he will form a shadow government. Even though they tried to tell him that shadow government is not the same as parallel government, but he said it's the same thing, it's treacherous. And then I asked him, but your APC said they will form parallel government in 2015. He couldn't answer that question. So the reason I played this is that what does this speak to as for the people that are in charge of us, that is people that govern us? Is it that they forget things, so they're truly detached from the reality, or maybe they just feign ignorance?
They feign ignorance because there are no consequences for bad action, right? And they know that, they believe that Nigerians are, I wouldn't say too forgetful, even if they remember, right? But by the time you do things back to back, right? You do one wrong thing today, before they will look at why you did it, you will do another one tomorrow that will obliterate that one. Before they will think about what's happening, you will keep it another. You just keep piling it. They know that at some point people will just get tired. So journalists, these ones have opportunity because he came to their studio. How about people on the street who have this kind of questions to ask? Who are they going to ask? So the thing is, they know it's a strategy. It's also psychological. They know that by the time they bombard people with different frustrative things, give people stuff to think about, to worry about and everything, they just go on, continue to do what they're doing. There has nobody that has been brought to book, either by what he said, even when you remind him of what he said yesterday as against what he's saying today, he will just make it look like it really doesn't matter. Okay, and Either he decide not to answer, or he will tell you you're being sponsored by the opposition party, or something like that. At the end of the day, the whole thing will just be swept under the carpet, and then life continues like that. So they know what they're doing. Okay, the only thing, even in this time of internet, they know that internet don't forget. Okay, anything you say now, the one you said 10 years ago can be pulled up and then show you, look, this was what you said, and you will see them marching on like it really doesn't matter. So it's a joke, and it's a game that has been played for far too long. The only thing you should be asking now is, how are we going to stop this whole nonsense? Because it keeps happening every now and again. You understand? This whole thing, even ADC that is coming now, it's a strategy. The same thing. When APC was formed, people left PDP and formed APC just because they know that the tsunami of, winning is more gameful on the other side. Majority of them who were very strategic moved to APC. They won. Today, APC is such a bad party that other people who couldn't benefit from the same APC felt, look, I think Nigerians are already tired. So we too, let us go and form another party. The same people going into another party platform, the same set of people. Nigerians will say, okay, this is an alternative. Before you know it, if they vote ADC in now, ADC will become something else. So who suffers all of this game that is going on without things really changing from the masses, the way people, look at politicians and the way they decide who rules them. So this whole game should stop. I wish Nigerians understand that, look, even ADC, they don't look any better, because look at the crop of people that are there.
So who bells the cat then? Who bells the cat? If ADC is not any better, the ruling party is not any better. So what do we? But Obi cannot do it alone.
I know. I'm not saying you should do it alone. I'm not saying. Okay. I'm talking about people like him who are selfless, who really want to govern, who really want. So if he's at the helm of affairs, right, and then tend to pick, because really, if I'm to rule Nigeria today, okay, and you're selfless, you really want to really make impact, what does it take? Even if people are chopping money, let them chop. I remember when Abacha was there. Abacha was given contracts from his own table. What does it take? Take 1 or 2 point agenda. Don't give me 7-point agenda. Nigeria is still at the mechanical level where you don't need too much grammar. Just have human heart to want to do something for the people. Okay, so we have the money. How do you spend the money? If you want to give, even if it's electricity, give us electricity in your 4-year term. What do? You will call the companies that give electricity. GE is America. Manitoba is Canada. Siemens is Germany. Call them. Anyone you like. Even if you like, speak pidgin. It is when you have money that you understand that American white man, British white man, then they hear pidgin. If you have the kind of money they need. Just tell them, say, do like buying and selling. Oga, how much did they sell your light? Chairman, how much did they sell your light? You go tell you $1 billion per 1,000 megawatts. Okay, I won't buy 10,000 megawatts. How long it will take you? You go say, give me 10 years or 7 years. Are you sure? If I give you check, because we go write small agreement, give me 7 years. I need 10,000 megawatts. Now $10 billion. We will write an agreement. I will tell you in 7 years, Abi, in 7 years, or no, before 7 years, if you no deliver on, the clause go there, you go pay me double, $20 billion. You agree? The chairman of GE, if him put hand, sign that agreement, sign that contract, or not before 7 years, that contract, that the light 7,000 annual 10,000 megawatts go there ready, because he no go like make him pay default, come pay double. These things are very simple, but these guys don't have the heart to do anything for anybody. Now where they pay me? Don't be saying Nigeria no get money. Nigeria get money, get resources, get everything, but to give the people waiting they want, now you can't they had them. So now make all the people where we say from APC to most of them in ADC now, they have all been tested. They failed the people. So really, Nigeria is in a situation where I don't know. That's why they say, oh, now God go save us. Which, of course, God is not a politician. Now, human being will still save you. You get what I mean?
Hello, good
So,
evening. Yes, I do.
I don't know.
Yes, yes, please. I'm very well, thank you. Welcome. So, what's your name and where are you coming from?
Okay, Jackson is my name. I'm calling from Germany.
You're welcome. Go ahead, please.
Okay. So the first thing I want to talk is about the Fulani militia that are killing people in Benue, Plateau, and the eastern part, Enugu, and the rest of it. So my take is this: if those people that are killing don't pick up their own arms and fight them, they will continue to die. They will continue to die. So if they're waiting for the government to come and do anything for them, because the military, they're compromised, the government themselves, they know what they're doing. Look, if they don't do that, there will be no savior for them. There will be no savior for them.
But the government is against people picking up arms and fighting because, first of all, it's illegal.
Okay, then you're going to sit down there and die then. Those government, those politicians, the Tinubu and the rest of them that tell you don't take arms, then Badana is in a very safe place. Their children in a very safe place. Their wives are in a very safe place, isn't it? But they want you to stay there without nothing. And these criminals will come and kill you. These bloodsuckers. No, it doesn't work that way. If, like the Christians are doing this, do you think that the Fulanis will take it from you? No matter what the government says, they don't pick up arms. That's one thing I like them for. Look at somebody like El-Rufai. They're the people. El-Rufai and Buhari, they brought these people, and he confessed about it. He brought them to Nigeria. Only 11 people were killed in what's it called? Is it Delta or somewhere else there? 11 Fulani husband or whatever they are, criminals or whatever, kidnappers. The whole Nigeria, everywhere was like burning. Even Saddam or Sokoto have to talk. Every game, even to Atiku, everybody to the extent the governor of the Delta, where's the
yes, is Edo State. Edo State.
Edo State. Okay, Edo State. He still has to go over there to apologize. Could you imagine that? So these people that got guards are very courageous, are very outspoken. But what is the problem with the southern people? The southern politicians are even they call them Fulani housemen or militia. Everybody's afraid even to mention that name, Fulani. Could you imagine that? Even to mention that name, even you that is there right now, Precious,
Sir?
afraid to say it's Fulani. Are you not afraid? Can you say it out?
Sir?
You?
Sir?
You cannot say it out.
Sir? Okay, sir.
You cannot say it out. But is there somebody like El-Rufai will come out and say whatever he want to say? His children will come out and say whatever they want to say. They got guts, and I love them for that.
All right.
That's how the southern people supposed to be.
Thank you, sir.
We are cowards. The South, they're cowards. Cowards, I'll call them. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Hey, cowards, quoi. Hello, good evening and welcome. Hello. Hello. Sir?
Hello, brothers. How are you?
Oh, Garanyo Biad, your chat from Denmark. Welcome. Go ahead quickly, sir.
Yeah. Nigeria is a laughing stock.
No, it's not.
You cannot, yeah, it is, because there is no country function without constitution. Nigeria don't have constitution. So that's why the president, all of them are behaving the way they are behaving. You cannot have your car now and the particulars of that car expired, and you'll be moving it in the road without renewing it. So all the whole things, Nigerians are too good in big grammars. That is what they study in the school. But to put it on the ground, nothing there. There is nothing like constitution. It doesn't exist. That's why the politicians are misbehaving. Because if there is constitution, even the police will be afraid of that constitution. Even the military will be afraid of that constitution. So as long as there is nothing like constitution in Nigeria, all these things everybody is talking is just garbage. I am telling you. You keep on saying it. It's time for we to stand on ground and fight for the constitution. All this thing they are campaigning, nothing gonna work there. If there is constitution, if any politician manipulate the election, it will end up in prison because there is constitution. It cannot build their country without a constitution. Anyone who is coming into power said that he will rule for 2 years, he will rule for 1 year. If you don't have constitution, you cannot do nothing. Cannot offer nothing.
So the one we're using is what?
That is just Dodon Barras Constitution, 1999, Obasanjo and Abdul Salam Abubakar and Babangida Constitution. Is that Constitution? Your referendum have expired. That is what brought the British into Brexit. Nobody is talking about it. Nobody is talking about almost 90 billion naira spent in consulting national conference. You forget about that? 2014 national conference. They spent almost 90 billion naira. And everybody just talking about I look at what is exactly going on in Nigeria? If they have proper referendum now, do you know that all starting from 2015, all the whole government, all the whole law they have made will be punished? You don't know that? That is exactly. If the government is all about continuously, as the 2015 was sworn in by Bulgaria, what he's supposed to do is to bring that national confab in those states, and they have what is called rule of law of a nation. That's why the Western world are just playing with them. There is not a constitutional country. Keep the fire burning. God bless you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, Mr. Kenobi, let me let you wrap up, please, quickly. I know that time is very, very fast spent. We've done over 2 hours. Let me let you wrap up, sir.
Right. So it's all the same thing. I just hope all the things we've been saying and we keep talking on daily basis. I can't wait for things to begin to make sense, to begin to yield results, positive results, because this country is in their need of change. I mean, change for the better, so that people that live in this country will at least feel what it is to live in a normal country. The whole problems, chaos that people are experiencing in this country are not from natural disaster. They are humanly orchestrated. And
telling you, while other countries are backing natural disasters.
You understand? I just hope people will get, these people that are mistreating people in Nigeria to just be tired. Get tired of doing bad to your people, and because everybody is living to die. Nobody is here forever. Why would people continue to suffer till they die? Why? It really doesn't make sense to me. I care about humanity. I don't care about tribes. I don't care about religion. I don't care about nothing, because all those things are man-made. I look at humanity. How do we organize ourselves to, be able to live at least a simple, good life? I don't know. It's almost looking like, a mirage. I mean, if you look at the way Nigeria is going, but I know someday, something good is going to happen. And it will only happen when Nigerians understand where they are versus where they are going, and know how to also play, because if they don't play a role, there is no country that has been good that became good by prayer. No, people need to work. You don't need to pray. Push back if you're being treated badly. You understand? Say, no, I don't like the way you treat me. And then see how you can, negotiate with the person. But if you allow the person to just keep mistreating you, a person who mistreats people usually don't know where to stop. They don't even want to stop until you push back. So Nigerians should really, really understand that, look, you can't really get good life by prayer. You need to ask for it. You need to demand for it. We begin to understand how things work or had worked elsewhere, and then adopt the same style to be able to, bring us to where we want to be.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Mr. Kenobi, for jumping in on the conversation. I appreciate you big time. Are you on social media? Twitter, Instagram,
Welcome.
anywhere? All right. Okay.
Yes, I am. On Facebook, I am Ekene Obi, and on Instagram, you find me Ekene Foster, and then on X, Foster Ekene. Yeah, that's where you
All right.
can
Thank you.
get me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate
All
you
right
deeply.
then.
Thank you for your time. Do enjoy the rest of your evening,
You're
sir.
welcome.
Thank you and
You're welcome.
goodbye. All right, to you Nigerians, thank you so much for joining us. Please do well to subscribe, click on the like button, kindly like, share this post, subscribe, follow us like a village people now. You know they cost money, now free of charge. So follow us. If you never subscribe, we see the wait for now. Try follow us now. Like na beg, I dey beg you. Now free oh, just one button push. And also go to Facebook. Follow us at Precious Inye TV on Facebook, on Instagram at Precious Inye TV, and on Twitter, Precious Inye TV. Same thing at TikTok too, Precious Inye TV. Just go there. Anyway, you see Precious Inye with the TV inside. Follow them like a village people. I'll see you again tomorrow evening, God willing. Protect your mental health because I always say that and I won't stop saying that. Nigeria will almost break you, but don't give up. Protect your mental health. I love you guys. I appreciate you big time. See you tomorrow, God willing. Good night and God bless you. Have a great weekend.